This is What the Flock Radio's Birds of a Feather. We are an indie music-focused show, rife, positively dripping to the point of needing a bucket and a mop, with witty, fuck-laden, insanely interesting, and unhinged banter. Thematic submissions will confuse, infuse, and delight you, while our fascinating fun features fluster, flummox, fulfill, and thrill you, and Cruella de Vil you, to borrow a line from Freddie Mercury, greatest character name ever, by the way, I mentioned only in passing, Cruella de Vil. Now, astute and alert listeners, which is nobody in this room, by the way, might have noticed I said, What the Flock Radio's Birds of a Feather. That is true, and kudos to you for... you want a star on the forehead? You've got it. You've got it. No problem. You do not need to give me an apple, because that was very, very keen of you to notice that, and we will cover that in Bird Banter. But in the meantime, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Professor P-Soop, and I was born in a crossfire hurricane. That's not really true. I'm just a monkey man. But if you start me up, I'll never stop, unfortunately for listeners. But despite the editor's best efforts... But I'm sorry, I can't get no satisfaction from today's mainstream music. Oh, you're not the only one with mixed emotions, believe me. If you're thinking you can't always get what you want and here comes your 19th nervous breakdown, don't just sit there as tears go by. You're a fool to cry instead of telling those lame-ass programmers to get off my cloud. If you can't rock me, somebody will. There are plenty of respectable artists out there whose music is guaranteed to get your rocks off. And we, in the indie music scene, like us at What the Flock Radio, are bringing you their work and coming to your emotional rescue. You'll see the myth that there's no good music anymore completely shattered. We, your birds, Crazy Mama and the Midnight Rambler, extend an open invitation. Let's spend the night together. We'll play you the great new music we found and discuss the hot stuff that was prevalent in the golden days, just like the last time. We're more than happy to do so. I might joke that Christina's a bitch who makes me her beast of burden, but you should see her face. Joke that Christina's a bitch who makes me her beast of burden, but it's all in fun. Some girls might fit that bill, but not Cookie. She's a rainbow, and one would have to have a heart of stone not to love her. She actually does most of the work while I sit blankly with faraway eyes, and she also drives many a moonlight mile so we can gather under cover of the night and bring you these shows. Oops. Looks like I'm out of time. She's probably ready to round up some wild horses to drag me away from the mic. All right, then. Till the next goodbye. Okay. Over to you, as they say.
Could these get any more fucking clever? Holy shit.
Was it?
Oh, my God.
There's 24 times. See, I kind of combined. I learned from you. I took a tip from you, but I could only use 9 actual lines, but I coupled that with 24 titles.
That was very cool. I have never done that. That is your new thing. Maybe you do that.
I'm not talented enough to do it all out of lines the way you do, so I had to kind of cobble something together. Frankenstein really style, cool. You know, babe?
I get it. Well, you might be asking, who the fuck is that bitch that makes him
beast of burden?
Makes him her beast of burden. Well, that's not me. I am Christina Baldwin, vocalist for the dark alt-rock band Ascent. That's ASNT, bitches. And I can't stand it for another day. And it may sound strange. Only hope can keep me together. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right. The accusations fly, words that scream for your submission. I guess this is our last goodbye, and you will see it coming to its fruition. No surprise, no mystery. It's all a game for you and you and you. I clutch at images like dying breath. If I had wings, I'd leave the ground. Echoes of things that you said. Living the day from day to day. I'm climbing up an endless wall. Quiet fills the room. Hide my face in my hands. Shame wells in my throat. Must I always be alone?
Yeah, that was so brilliant. Compared to that, what I did sounded like da-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. I mean, honestly.
You did not just fucking do that. You did not just da-do-da-da-da that, did you?
That's all I have to say to you.
Oh, shit.
Bam, double down.
Holy shit. You're so punny. You really are. So, in case anyone was counting, that was certainly the Police, of whom I'm a huge, gigantic, ridiculous fan. And that took me probably longer than any other one I've done because their lyrics are so hard to string together.
Yeah.
But, And there's some pretty dark ones. It's hard. There's I couldn't put Demolition Man in here or some shit like that. Just wouldn't have worked.
A classic. A classic. No, it wouldn't have.
So I had to. So hopefully these aren't getting too incredibly dark. But that's where I go where the lines take me, friends.
I'm a walking nightmare. That's a hell of a song, I got to say. Not a bad flick with Stallone, Snipes, and Bullock. I got to say it's campy as fuck, but it's pretty cute though. And we're trying to bring you the best because anything less than the best is a what, Pumpkin? Anything less than the best is a
travesty.
Oh, sorry, felony. Vanilla Ice.
Oh yeah, you didn't say it like a
anything,
rap.
Yeah, anything less than the best is a
felony.
Sorry, I let you down there. That's not the way you pass a cue in the radio
no.
game. I'm sorry, I'm new at this yet. I'm learning still. That's a felony. Whereas parking on the dance floor, that's like a fine, a violation. That's nothing big.
No parking.
But
on
anything
floor.
less than the best, don't even think about it.
It's a fucking felony.
Don't even think about it. Okay, that's serious. So we're trying to keep you amused, at least to the point where you don't end up at the end of the broadcast face down in a puddle of drool. So let's hope that doesn't happen. That's all
I'm
I can
hoping
say.
for the best. Look at this. Fingers crossed.
And to that end, I'm hoping that the what I assume are hundreds of thousands of you out there are in total denial, like Dumplin here, about my voice. I'm sorry, I have a scratchy, hoarse voice tonight. There's nothing I can do about it. I swear it has nothing to do with the bath salts. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't do bath salts, but it was for the show. But that was just tonight, and I've had this throat for days. So clearly, logical deduction, the bath salts had nothing to do with it.
No, I don't think so either. Because look, I did bath salts, and I think I sound pretty fucking dulcet.
I mean, if I ate a face, it would probably go better for me.
I agree.
But we saw.
Don't eat mine.
Last week, how that affected the Grammys, the Grammy votes, bath salts and face eating. So far, I'm doing okay here. I might have to drink a little bit more beverages, but I'm getting by.
Water.
But
More water.
More, smart water.
Smart pH balance.
Not
alkaline.
Stupid water. Not stupid water.
No,
smart
this is smart water, but also alkaline.
Alkaline,
pH balanced,
It's all about the pH balance.
It's all about the fucking overhydration.
Whenever you heard a show that we did that sucked, the pH balance was off.
Totally.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Totally.
So it's not really our fault.
Sometimes hormonal as well, I think.
All right, so we've established that we don't want you to be face down in a puddle of drool,
if we can help it.
And let's see. We're it seems to be some special occasion here all the time. It's an anniversary.
Kidding.
We're celebrating this. We're celebrating that. We
Right.
always find something to celebrate. However, this part we knew. The show is a big one for you birds. We take a deep breath, and we let out a collective gulp. And you know how you do those two all together all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it's gulp. And you know what? That would probably sound a little bit like what we're hearing outside. I have the Macho Pink headphones on.
So hot.
So when I take them off, it sounds like we're recording in the fucking Okefenokee because nearby us is a pond with apparently 3 or 4 bullfrogs per square foot.
Yeah,
and
clearly.
they are croaking away, and crickets are chirping merry hell, and it just sounds
Seriously.
amazing. Sometimes we get really serious, incredible coyote howling action out here.
I'm happy to say there's none tonight.
None tonight, yeah. But I mean, we got the bullfrogs, so it seems like we're in the middle of nowhere when, in fact, we're plugged into electric and all the comforts of home, and both studios is rocking as usual. So we are going to explain now what's so different and why it was, astute listeners heard me say, What the Flock Radio at the beginning of the show. Today, we announced the launch of our very own station, What the Flock Radio. That was not some seizure or spasm on my part. I was accurately relaying, hard to believe as that is, what the new system is, what the new regime is. This is What the Flock Radio. Today, we announced the launch of our very own station, What the Flock Radio. What the Flock is home to a single show, or a single show and a half, a show and a kind of a mini-me show, if you will, Winging It, which is kind of mini-me.
It is a bonus, if you will.
It's a bonus, yeah. Birds of a Feather and Winging It. So Christina and I aren't going anywhere. In fact, we're coming to some new platforms. Hopefully that thing with the J that I never want to say. What the Flock Radio was born on March 11th. But our flock need worry about anything. We'll still be syndicated on Fusion Music Radio and fully support all their shows and one of our favorite people in the universe, Louis Drayton. What's up, Louis?
We love you.
The Queen of all pus, the radio magnate, not magnet. Magnate. I used to pronounce it like magnet, which is like
I just noticed
radios are not drawn to him by some kind of invisible force. Chicks are and dudes are, but he's the radio magnate and brilliant performer, the Queen of all pus, the King of all illness, and the master of all genres. You know, there was a song in which I referred to myself which I said about myself, you name the genre, he's the undisputed king. Well, I was kidding, folks, but it's true of Louis Drayton, as we might or might not see in this show. It's possible anyway. I mean, don't rule it out altogether. We are delighted to share that you can find all of our Birds of a Feather and Winging It episodes and more than you ever needed or wanted to know of. I did not write that part. At www.boafonair, boafonair.podbean.com. There you can subscribe with our RSS direction on our webpage. And follow us on the platform of your choice, provided we're on that platform, and we're going to do our damn level best to try to be on as many as possible. So, What the Flock Radio, the new nest of your birds. So far, we're on the following platforms with more to come. Spotify, Amazon Music /Audible, Deezer, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, ooh, that's nice, Player FM, Listen Notes, and hopefully coming soon, we're going to be on Apple Podcast, Overcast, gotta love that clever little name there, Pocket Cast, Castro, and Castbox. So that's the new news, and perhaps Christina will do Bird Banter Part 2, or at least comment on What the Flock Radio.
Yeah, I'm super excited about What the Flock, and super grateful to Fusion Music Radio for giving a gal a chance who had no fucking clue what she's doing. Oh, wait, I still don't know.
I recruited her. Let the record show I recruited her.
So it's you're to blame. So this is all your fucking fault. So
I took the risk.
Very much appreciated. We're very happy. We're going to continue our partnership with Fusion, and we will be syndicated, if you will, with Fusion. And if there are any other motherfuckers out there who want to syndicate us, just let me know. Let us know at boafonair@gmail.com, and we will get our RSS feed right over to you, and you can syndicate the shit out of us.
It can be arranged.
So,
we'll pull some strings.
Very excited. WTF Radio is born, and that is What the Flock, not What the Fuck. Although, What the Fuck was taken, or I probably would have recommended that. But thank you, David, for the brilliant name of our new radio station.
Oh, I didn't know you were looking at What the Fuck. I just thought What the Flock because that's what we are, us and our people. All
right, so I guess that leaves it to me to go on to Bird Banter Part 2.
Yeah, it's always you.
It is always me.
Okay. Sorry.
That's what everyone's thinking.
That's what everybody's thinking. Poor gal. You know?
And you're like, no one's thinking that. All right, so this is an interesting topic, David. I think this is really going to get all... I think it's going to check all your boxes. Let me say that, because it's very interesting. This is some of the most valuable records. Now, I'm not talking about their value as an artistic statement. I'm talking about their monetary fucking value in today's market.
Like the rare baseball card coin kind of value. Yeah.
Yes, or you might think that they're like a Mickey Mantle, and they're really not.
Like an original pressing of Winchester Cathedral, for example. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd imagine that is kind of like a rookie card for a fucking failed person. But yeah, I mean, it could be, for sure.
The guy drummed out of the league 2 days after getting in, okay.
Exactly. So let me give you tiers, starting kind of respectable level. We're going to start with 1973, David Bowie's The Prettiest Star. What do you think that album, opened, not mint, not sealed, but open, but in good condition, goes for right now in today's market?
The album, was there an album released at that time, or was it Aladdin Sane?
It is Aladdin Sane.
Oh, Aladdin Sane. Oh, baby. I keep hoping you're going to come up with one that I actually have on this list.
We shall see.
Hey, you have this rare coin. The original unopened Aladdin Sane?
No, not unopened. Uh-huh. That would probably go for more. This is opened, but in good or very good VG Plus condition.
Oh, okay. I'm going to guess, $400.
$2,000.
Damn.
$2,000. So anybody out there who has it, what about Nirvana's 1989 release of Bleach?
Yeah, Bleach I think is one of those geeky collectors things. This is one of those where they go to what the hell's the name of the store in High Fidelity? That's what they're looking for. Original, not
re-released.
Not re-released Smith singles.
Underlined.
Original copies of Nirvana Bleach. That's the kind of stuff they would have there. No idea how much.
$1,100.
Damn.
What about Led Zeppelin's 1969 release Led Zeppelin?
Original good condition. See, I got that. I have that one in very good condition, so I hope it's worth a lot. I'm going to guess $150. They seem to be everywhere. $150.
$1,000.
Wait. In what condition? Because I got this shit right now.
VG Plus outside and inside.
VG Plus. Oh, very good plus.
That means that it's
double
just,
plus good outside and inside. Okay.
Yeah, it's just beneath mint.
Oh, damn. I got to check mine
That
because I
means
got
there's
that sucker.
no wear on the cover where you
where
see
you
the
can
record.
see the shape of the record.
Or no writing
the
on
bane
it, any of that.
The bane of the record collector's existence.
That's right.
That
Exactly.
damn record 12-inch circle.
That's right.
Messing up the cover art. Led Zeppelin. Gee, well, I have it. Go ahead.
All right. And that was a weird moment. You're like, I'm looking through my own collection in my head.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Gotta look for an opportunity to cash in here.
All right. So what about...
Because I can just listen to it on Spotify. Sorry, go
What
ahead.
about The Who's 1967 release, The Who Sell Out?
Oh, wow. Got that one on CD, not the record. The Who Sellout. Oh,
This is all vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl, classic.
And either
concept album, as they say.
Either VG Plus or VG Plus Plus or mint condition is the only way you're going to get this kind of money.
Double plus good. I'm going to go with... That is a real classic collector's item. I'm going to go with $1,600.
$1,100. I downgraded them.
Wow, okay. Well, that's still pretty damn respectable.
So, yeah. So what about Elton John's I've Been Loving You, released in 1968?
Wow, I never even heard of it.
Oh, that's
cow.
unfortunate.
The first Elton John album? Because...
Well...
Gee. Ooh, I never even had that. And I had so many Elton John records. I didn't have that one. I'm going to go with $800.
$5,000.
Shit.
$5,000.
Drugs
what
cost
about
money. So.
Elvis Presley's 1968 release, Speedway?
Speedway? Like soundtrack Speedway? I think it must be the Speed... I don't know. I'm assuming that's a soundtrack from one of his 400 films that he did. I have quite a few of them, but nobody's got them all because he did too many films. Speedway, I'm going to go with probably not that rare, $700.
$5,000.
Son of a bitch.
What about The Quarrymen? That'll Be the Day, released in 1981.
Wow.
By The Quarrymen.
The Quarrymen, the early Beatles, doing a Buddy Holly's That'll Be the Day, I'm assuming, because they're big fans. Nice. As a single, I'm going to go with, that's probably worth $1,000 right there.
Or $3,500.
That was close, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
I didn't go over.
But this is not the fucking Price is Right. What the fuck?
Okay, I'll shoot bigger next time.
All right, what about 1954's That's All Right by Elvis Presley?
Oh, wow. Ooh, that's a heavy hitter. I'm going to go, and I got a stack of friggin' 45s, too, I got to look into. Also, I'm going to go with, I'm going to aim high because they're obviously shooting through the roof now, $3,000.
$4,000.
Damn, dude.
I want you to go with what you actually think it was worth, not what this inflated market is. I liked it better when you were like $150.
Yeah, that's what I would
And then
think.
you're like, $17 million.
You know what it is? I inherited some records, and one of them was a really mint condition collection of the Concert for Bangladesh with all the books and the art and everything and the records. And I figured this is going to be worth some money, right? Hell no, they're all over the place. Everybody's got them, and they're worth like $50 tops. And I thought, shit, if that's the case, then these other things, they're more rare. That's true, but so I'm way off. So I'm gonna keep going cheap then because that's what I think.
They're also more rare in the condition that they're demanding them in. I mean, they have to be in collector's condition, either unopened or VG plus, which is near mint.
My Bangladesh was, at least at first.
Well, but if it's not on the rare category, it doesn't matter.
And it clearly isn't. It was a dime a dozen online. So.
All right. So what about 1977's Sex Pistols release of God Save the Queen?
Oh, are we talking single? We're talking album, because the album's Nevermind the Bollocks. And I had it, of course. I had everything, but...
if it's just the title of the song, it's probably just the...
Yeah, the Band 45. I forget what was on the flip side of that. That would be a hot one. I'm going to go with... Oh, man, $2,500. Wait, what I think is actually worth... Okay, $250.
Or $8,600.
Okay, obviously, other people differ with me on the value. I have the damn thing. I can play it anytime I want.
Is it in mint condition?
It's not a 45 either. No, I have the CD.
Well, unfortunately, it's not worth shit then.
I know.
Or whatever it is you paid for it, it's worth that.
Yeah.
Or whatever someone's willing to pay for it, right? So
means a lot to me.
Also, what about the 1963 Beatles release of Please Please Me?
I swear I listened to that today. Not the single, not the valuable thousands of dollars thing. I listened to the album, I swear, just today. Last night and today. Please Please Me. First Beatles album, and I'm going to go with, since they're shooting to me, I'd say $300, but I'm going to figure they $6,000.
$4,200.
Wow, gee, I went over.
Yeah, because now you're
my
getting crazy.
My estimation and theirs.
Now you're getting crazy.
Well, yeah, but they're crazy. Listen to what they're paying for these things. They're all crazy.
But they're VG++ or mint, so that makes sense.
But it's kind of arbitrary. We have That's All Right Mama. We have classic introductory Elvis, Through the Roof, and the Beatles. Isn't that the same thing? I don't know.
Not so much. Not so much. It's also again what people are willing to pay for it. So, all right, what about 1998's Lafayette Blues by the White Stripes?
Oh, okay. I'm going to guess nothing that new. Well, could be one of those things like Bleach. It's one of those Nirvana things. I'm going to go with $2,500.
$12,700.
Isn't that the biggest one so far?
$12,700.
We live in an alternate universe.
And then what about 1980s Olivia Newton-John and ELO Xanadu?
Our favorite. We talk about this a lot. Wow, mint condition or very good condition vinyl, double plus good vinyl of Xanadu. Classic soundtrack, much bigger hit than the movie, that's for sure. And let's just say there's a cult following on that one, and the movie too. Go to Amazon and read the reviews on that shit. There's some crazed Xanadu fans out there. I'm going to go with $5,000.
$9,100.
Wow.
So only do a few more because this is going to be a longer section than I anticipated, and we've got much cool stuff to get to.
Oh, that we do.
And so what about 1968's release of Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones?
Which happens to be the song that threw the breaker, tripped the switch in my brain, and made me think, you have to play music, sir. That was the song that did it for me. From the classic album Beggar's Banquet. The all-acoustic, kick-ass Street Fighting Man, greatest chorus, greatest harmonies ever. I'm going to go with, because it's the Stones and it's not the Beatles and it's not Elvis, I'm going to go with only $3,000.
$17,000.
That's the highest one yet. Damn, dude. It's a stunner, but I sure as hell wouldn't pay that much for it unless actually, probably, even if I had the money, I probably still wouldn't do it, but hella good.
You would if it continued to appreciate in value like that is.
And I swear I am not making this up. If you were to pop the lid on my vinyl record player today, that's what's on there. I swear.
Is it VG++? Like
no.
Okay,
no.
then.
It's the album Hot Rocks, and it's scratched all to fuck. But it's the Hot Rocks album. I did listen to that song today, and I listened to Please Please Me yesterday. You can't make this stuff up. Why does that always happen with us?
I'm not sure.
I
mean, probably because it's a music show and we're music people.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't know.
But the convergence, it's almost harmonic.
I think it is harmonic, actually.
You come up with stuff, and I'm like, gee, I was just doing that today. Album covers, etc. So.
Nice. Well, what about Prince's The Black Album, 1994 release?
Well, I'm going to guess that shot through the roof when
he died, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to go with $11,000 because since we seem to be going higher and higher. But I would personally estimate maybe $500, but because that's not even really sane. But
it's more fun when you do it the normal price instead of assuming what they're doing. Just because it's
$500. $500 then.
You think it's $500?
My final answer. Yeah.
Well, opened $27,500, unopened and sealed $42,000.
Unopened and sealed $42,000. Wow. You never know when you got something like this.
You don't.
I inherited a Marvin Gaye live sealed, and I'm thinking, wow, maybe this is worth a fortune. It's not, but it was a thought.
I know,
it wasn't Prince the Black Album. It was Marvin Gaye live, but it's still fun. It's still great, except for the absolute Beatlemania teenage girl screaming audience, which doesn't seem to suit Marvin Gaye, but that's what it is. So very nice, very shocking too.
So then the very last one, what is the highest selling or the, let's say, most valuable album of all time?
It could be weird, like Saturday Night Fever on vinyl. I'm gonna go with, okay, let's try that. Or Rumors. Saturday Night Fever or Rumors. Or Thriller, one or the other.
1968's The Beatles, the White Album, goes for $790,000.
That was actually my next guess. It seemed too obvious, so I didn't say it. But yeah, the White Album, the self-titled.
If you didn't say it, it doesn't matter, does it?
I thought it so hard.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you didn't say it. You trying to go back and qualify that you already said it in your mind doesn't actually count.
You have to say things that are too obvious. It's too obvious.
Well, you didn't say it.
Okay.
Therefore, you lost.
Therefore,
I'm just
lost.
kidding.
That's
what did you lose? Nothing.
That's how it works on Virius, anyway.
So a couple other things I want to mention here really quick, just because I wanted to get to more of them because it's weirdly interesting, I think. 1984's U2's Pride goes for $9,000. Depeche Mode's 1987 release, Music for the Masses, one of my absolute favorite records of all time, $4,600. Right now, again, this is in that crazy good condition. 1966 release of the Beatles, Yesterday and Today, $15,000. So some of the things that are a little shocking probably are also, like, for example, Ecstasy's 1977 Ecstasy science fiction is $2,000. I would not have thought. Now, I know Ecstasy is kind of has a cult following and is classic, but $2,000 seems like a lot to me.
It does.
So there was just a lot of really shocking stuff on this list, and then some stuff that really wasn't shocking. I would say probably 90% I was like, I can see that, right? Because of the time, the era, who they are, the impact. Oh, one other one before we close out. 1963's The Freewheelin', Bob Dylan, $35,000.
What?
So
I mean, for $35,000, you better put me in a time machine and ship me back to that year and buy the record in a store and see him perform it live or something. That is a hell of a price for a record. I think all the values are crazy valuations, but that's the art market. It's like that. And unlike actual art, like painted art, it can't be faked and forged quite as readily. But, everybody, the eye of the beholder. If it's worth that much to you, then I guess you'll pay it, and good for you. And, hey, by the way, if any listeners find that you have one of these valuable records in your collection and you sell it and thus have profited monetarily from listening to the show, a little gratuity wouldn't hurt. We're just saying.
And I'm just saying, if you have something that's worth this much money, save it because it's only going to get more valuable. That's my advice.
Right.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to save it.
Yeah.
I'm going to save it, and I'm going to make a whole bunch of money and retire on that shit. Okay.
Make it now.
No, do it later.
Some dirt will come out on them, and they'll be discredited, and then
it'll be worth more money.
It'll be worth shit.
It'll be worth more money.
Actually, she's right, though.
Yeah, so just hold on to it.
So, as much as you've hogged the whole show so far,
you know how I am.
Yeah.
You know how I am. I'm always just taking the spotlight. I'm always making it all about me. You know how I am. Right. You know how I am.
I do. All right, which leads us to the recap, the restatement, the reiteration, or whatever you want to call it, of the theme. Not the theme for next time. That comes later. The theme for this time, which is Justify My Dove. And we were looking for, whatever success we met with, we will find out. But we were looking for songs about fantasies, sexual taboos, yes, and otherwise unconventional carnal coupling, kind of like, if it were mainstream, kind of like Queen's I'm in Love with My Car kind of thing. Okay, songs about being right, or because we're willing to stretch and accommodate beyond what any other show would do, and we're desperate for submissions, we would also accept, we're very inclusive at submissions, that's what I meant, which also includes, or can include, songs about being right, justify, get it, winning an argument, or persuading others to your point of view. Something I'm never quite able to do, it seems. And the song that is being referenced in the theme, because of late we are coupling the customary and absolutely compulsory cheesy bird puns with hit song titles. Makes it a little more challenging for us. So this one refers to Justify My Love by Madonna, which was released in 1990 as a part of the Immaculate Collection. The song was written by Lenny Kravitz, Ingrid Chavez, and Madonna. Love that Lenny. And it's just, to be honest, it isn't that much of a song, but that's not relevant here, is it? The song debuted at 46 on the Billboard Hot 100, and 8 weeks later, it reached number 1, where it remained for 2 whole weeks. The video caters to alternative lifestyle couples and includes nods to dominance, BDSM, group sex, and a variety of other fetishes, such as leather, PVC, latex, to which I'm allergic, and corsets. So, what were we able to shake out of y'all about that? Let's find out when we get to the songs, which, since Christina finally let me do a feature, or at least a segment at all, and didn't hog the whole show to herself, I guess that brings it up to She's thrown me a bone here, and what does that bring up now, Punkin? That the results? Go ahead and take it away.
Well, I wanted to say something about Justify My Dove.
Oh, sorry.
So, interesting that you say it's not really a song. I disagree. I think it's more of a song than most of the shit that comes out today. I think it's hypnotic. I think it's sexy. I think it's propulsive. I love it. I think it's like a trip hop song. It's really, really great. So, to me, it's a great song. So I was saddened when you said that it's not really a song. I think it's really a song. It's sexy as fuck, and it's really good. And you can dance to that shit, and you can apparently also do other things to it.
Yeah, it's wide open. I think Madonna is a fantastic recording artist, and I'm a big fan. But I would put this at probably the bottom of the barrel. It doesn't possess a great deal of musicality. I think it's more in the order of something that Beyonce would put out and say, see, this is a song, when it really isn't. Honestly, I love Madonna's stuff, but I just don't think...
It hit number one.
Yeah, I know, but...
And it's still...
If we were to suspend the show and watch the Grammy results from tonight, I was sure that would be kind of rendered irrelevant because people...
This song does not belong in the same
I know, it was a different age, I understand.
It's an amazing song.
There was quality back then. I don't know, it's okay.
I don't know. Madonna is going to be real pissed at you for knocking her very provocative, sexy, and cool song, saying it's not really a song.
I hope she doesn't stop listening.
She probably will. You didn't justify her dove.
I didn't. Despite her pleadings, I did not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I really love this song, and I think it really is a sexy song. And actually, because you brought up this, this is your theme, because you brought this up, I went back and I've listened to that song so many times in the last couple
once,
weeks.
And that was enough.
Oh, it was so much fun. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was a cute title. I'll give you that for the show. Theme.
See, no, I thought you were totally into this song, so it's quite something. Quite shocking revelations tonight on tonight's show.
Sorry, gee. I just...
Who knew?
Yeah, it does not... it's kind of like one of those disclaimers, this does not necessarily reflect the views. Just because I put forth an idea doesn't mean I like the hunk of shit.
I didn't know that.
I dig the hell out of Madonna. This does not do it for me, so... Anyway...
Well, this does it for me in many, many ways. It's that kind of a song. Well, that's all I have to say about Justify My Dove. We got a lot of submissions, very interesting submissions, and I can't wait to share them with you. Some by people we know, some by new people, but either way will be very interesting and probably quite erotic.
Yeah, I suspect a house band or so might appear in this
really?
play. There's one house band in particular that...
Secret Weasels?
Speaking of house band, a very funny thing, totally unrelated, but, does it have to be related on this show? No. That occurred to me. You were talking about the Sex Pistols before. And, yeah, I know. It occurred, and we're talking about house bands now. What's the possible tie-in there? One of the greatest quotes ever by John Lydon, who was known back in the 70s as Johnny Rotten. He was once asked, he said, do you think Blink-182, sorry, I have to do that every time I mention their name. Do you think Blink-182,
maybe don't say their name then.
Yeah. That band, do you think they're your spiritual offspring? And he laughed and said, isn't that a bunch of silly boys? As far as I'm concerned, they should be the house band on Saturday Night Live, which to me is the ultimate insult. Oh, shit. Anyway, I thought it was funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to be part of the house band on Saturday Night Live. Are you kidding me? They make bazillions of dollars.
Apparently, John Lydon does not think so.
Oh, wow.
But I agree with him on Blink-182. I'm not a fan. But anyway.
All right. Well, what about those results you were talking about? What about those? Hell yes or oh hell no the results? Well, for this feature, we consider bands and determine if we are in or out. But before we tell you where we stand, we also ask you to weigh in. We want to know, of course, what you think. You have opinions, we have opinions. Yours matter. Well, ours matter as well, but not as much as yours. So who did we talk about this time? The Eurythmics. And I am actually a little surprised by the results, David, because I thought there would be more of a split on this band because of the kind of band they are, the new wave electronic. That sometimes is very polarizing to people. And in the 80s, it wasn't. But if you think about it now, some people may not have a connection to it. And even in the 80s, it seemed progressive and it seemed kind of rowdy and crazy. That's when it kind of started, right? But even then, you had the androgynous woman, and all that. It's just was a very interesting sort of thing. But I will say, we had 97% say hell yes to the Eurythmics.
I really expected more polarization because there are people that, I know who voted. And I know one of the no votes on that one. And it doesn't surprise me. I'm just a little surprised there are not more, that they weren't more polarizing. But I'm glad because I love the Eurythmics. I think they're great, and I'm in for them. And I'm going to guess that you probably are too.
Well, 3% said hell no, and I don't get those 3% of people. I really don't, because
somebody hurt them.
Yes, seriously, right? Who hurt you? We got to lean in and we got to say sweetly.
They're not among those people who who want to be abused,
No, they're
some
probably
of them want
not.
to be abused, not those 3%.
Yeah, I mean, some of them.
They were already, and that's why they don't like the Eurythmics. Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm a huge Eurythmics fan. I'm Annie Lennox. Her voice is incredible. Her style is incredible. Her look is incredible. I love the music they made together. Dave Stewart, I know that he takes a backseat to her. I know that. That's kind of the most bands fall victim to their singer taking kind of center stage. But I will tell you, he is the backbone of the band. He really is.
Yeah.
She's the show person, and her voice certainly is out there, and her style. I mean, she's just incredible. Just talk about goddess. I mean,
she's a goddess
all the way around.
And just that because she's a singer, she's the kind of person that can establish themselves as a solo artist much easier than a genius like Dave Stewart could. But I just watched today the total kick-ass Would I Lie to You video where he's playing the guitar. Totally badass. I love them. Yeah.
I mean, he's a force, and he doesn't get enough credit. But I will say, I mean, he's worked with tons and tons of brilliant artists over the years, so he's no slouch. He's just not been catapulted, to the in front of the camera, on-air personality that she is, and she's been very vocal in lots of charities and everything. So she's out there. Annie Lennox is an institution. It just is. She just is, and the Eurythmics are as well. They really ushered in a whole new sound of music. They really, really did. It was daring. It was edgy. It was cool. It was soulful. It was everything you wanted in the 80s and more. And then just her whole style, I think, really just took everything to the next level. She's kind of like Grace Slick in a way. She's a little David Bowie. I don't know. I'm just in love with it. That was the 80s her.
That's
and
what she
even
is.
Now,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, even now she's still an edgy person, as far as what she supports, her being so outspoken. She's just brilliant. And the Eurythmics, I miss them. I wish they were still making music because I think it would still resonate. And I can't even imagine how cool it would have gotten over the years. But thank goodness we got some fun solo projects from Annie Lennox. And I will say, I mean, it's hit or miss with me on some of those. Some of them are really stupid to me. Her voice is great, but some of them are really, really too lame to handle. For me.
Even Joni Mitchell had her jazz period. So.
I mean, some of them are a little too precious, if that makes sense. A little too precious for me, a little too expected, a little too cutesy, and I just can't. But I liked it when she was being edgy and kind of, putting her shit out there, putting her foot down, blah, blah, blah. So I really enjoyed her Eurythmics period, and I still enjoy her voice.
Hell yeah. Well, we're in for them for sure.
So totally in. Now, that's not true for everybody that we post. Now, if we ask you, are you in or out, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're in.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, remember, we did Kiss,
And one of us is very in.
And didn't we do Tool also? And one of us is very not in.
Tool.
Double plus bad on Tool.
Yeah, it's double plus.
Double plus ungood, sorry.
Double plus ungood for you, unfortunately, because our listeners are like, ooh, I'm questioning all of his taste. I'm just kidding. Well, they probably question all of my taste.
Newspeak was invented for them. Double plus ungood.
Oh, my God.
Chalk one up for Big Brother.
Oh, my God. But then I'm just...
Sorry, I got 1984 in the brain not because that's the year on History Strikes Back, but that's because I just read the book. And the Eurythmics actually have a tie to that. That's why I brought that up in the first place. They did a song called Sex Crime 1984. You know the one, right? Very strange.
I don't think it's tied to that book.
Sex crime is a 1984 concept. Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, it's tied to Big Brother, the Thought Police, the whole bit. I'm not making this up, unless I am.
I would never know. I'm not going to fact check you. They can if they want to.
See,
though.
the genius is like Bowie. You mentioned she does remind one of Bowie. She's performed with Bowie. Bowie had a whole album about 1984, so hell yeah, irrelevant tie there. Good way to go out. That's my idea of a segue, an irrelevant tie.
I like it. Well, that segues greatly to our first artist.
Well, it's bizarre, and so is our first artist song.
Yeah, so because this is Justify My Dove, we obviously asked for the sexual taboos and the deviant behavior. And
put those kids to bed now.
Very good. Yes, this is the R-rated
Actually,
portion of the show.
If you even listen to the introduction to our show with the kids, you should have them taken away from you.
That's right.
Call CPS on yourselves right now.
Beep, boop, boop, boop.
Especially for this show, but any old time.
That's true, because they say fuck within the first, 2 seconds.
Insanely interesting, fudge-laden,
You're listening to the wrong show.
We could do the family-friendly
version.
We can't. No, we can't.
Not with me.
Hey, we're What the Flock Radio, aren't we? That's got to count for something.
Well, not if I'm around. We can't do a family-friendly version.
No, you made me 5 times the drunken sailor on shore leave you ever were. So yeah.
True that. I like it.
It happens.
We're right here now. We're right here.
Hang out with her. Watch what happens.
It gets bad. So, Justify My Dove, as I mentioned, brought out, we turned over some rocks and people crawled out, and I kind of like what I found.
We lowered the bar.
Not
quality-wise, but we lowered the bar as far as taste, and, any kind of decency or standards, because that's what we're looking for,
Well, we're looking...
What are you laughing about? What did I say?
You just offended all of our artists.
No, we applaud you in your deviance, We do.
It's deviant behavior they're talking about. I didn't say they were the deviants.
Oh, in fact, in some of these cases, in one of the cases I'm going to play, we know perfectly well it's not them talking. So let's just suspend disbelief and let them tell us these dirty stories about stuff they would never do themselves. There. We're not suggesting they're a bunch of degenerates. No, not at all.
You did, actually. You did.
Unwittingly. Okay, never mind. Let's move along. Let's move along in that birds of a feather way. Nothing to see here. The usual. Our usual shtick.
Unwittingly.
Unwittingly. Well, yeah. That counts.
That was the best.
Okay.
All right. So the first in a long line of crazy, sexy songs, and some may have something to do with the alternate, persuasive discussion, but we'll see.
That's possible.
So this first song is by Alan Ishii, or Ishii, not sure. And the song's name says it all. Hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
So, Alan is from Los Angeles, so he is right here, City of Angels. And he is an electronic musician, but here's how he describes himself. And I had to use this description. Radioactive, mutant singer on the loose, running amok and performing sinister musical experiments. That absolutely describes Alan.
Well, damn it, what am I going to call myself now? He took it,
I was going to say, I'm so sorry.
Right?
I wanted to tell
Alan,
you.
All right, you got there, Alan. By the way, Alan has the same last name as Lucy Liu's character in Kill Bill, Ishii. Yep.
Ishii?
Yeah, she was O-Ren Ishii, and this is Alan Ishii. Very similar.
So I did kind of say it right, at least one of the two
I
times.
believe so, Ishii, yeah.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure, to be honest. So I don't want to offend you, sir. So, when a track named Hardcore that begins with moaning... You can pretty much, when that happens, you can pretty much let me try that again. When a track named Hardcore begins with moaning, you can be positive it fits the theme. Yeah. Alan sings in a Prince-inspired falsetto for much of this song about sex. He has quite an incredible voice and range that he displays as he sings, moans, and groans through this nearly 9-minute song. He promises to do anything and desires a throatful of the object's meat. In fact, all his songs are about some of the most shocking sexual taboos. This one was the tamest of them all. Go ahead, get hardcore.
So you got me stuck right in between. Where you want me and the place I can't leave. And you've locked me down in chains all complete, with the only thing in life that I need. Oh, now you know just what you've gone and don't you mean? Cage my body and threw away the key. Baby, hear my plea. See what you've done to me. Right there at your feet. Nowhere I'd rather be. of yours is sharper than any blade. A passing touch of yours will make me misbehave. Your eyes cut deeper than an ice-cold razor can. Say I'm just a fool, I'll do what you want me to. That leather glove of yours keeps me wanting more. That love of yours, this pure heart cold. A view of roses sweet, a tender summer breeze that kisses the morning beach. That's what I can see. Oh, when you gag me on your knees. A fantasy, sheer ecstasy, a throat filled with your meat, down at your feet. Nowhere I'd rather be. Just one look of yours is sharper than any blade. A passing touch of yours can make me misbehave. Your eyes go deeper than a nice cold razor can. Say I'm just a fool, I'll do what you want me to. That dirty glove of yours keeps me wanting more. Oh, that love of yours is pure. Sharper than any blade. A passing touch of yours will make me misbehave. Your eyes burn deeper than a red hot laser can. Oh, say I'm just a fool, I'll do what you want me to. That dirty glove of yours keeps me wanting more. Oh, that love of yours that's pure heart cold. Seems in a dream you are close to me. Let us scream of your ecstasy. Close my eyes and I can see, visualize what you've done to me. One look of yours cuts me like a blade, pierces my mind, makes me go insane. Where you walk the edge, I can see. And you lock me behind, the chains are complete. You're the only thing in life that I need. Just one look of yours is sharper than any blade. A passing touch of yours can make me misbehave. Now you know just what you're gonna do to me. Cage my body and do away the key. Baby, hear my plea. See what you done to me. Right down at your feet. You know where I thank you. Morning wakes, My body aches, slowly takes time to break. Hallucinates, the fever bakes, chills and shakes, the memories quake. Now you know just what you done to me. Kick my body, threw away the key. Baby, hear my plea. See what you done to me. Right down at your feet, nowhere I'd rather be. One look of yours is sharper than any blade. Come down to me against my father and you ain't king. That let the love of yours keep me from more. The love of yours is and now we're done, you're on the run. Let's say goodbye because without our phone. And now the lessons learned that you make me turn into a freaking man when you make me come. I'll always remember what we had before. I love it yours, hardcore.
All right, and that was Alan
Ishii, I'm thinking.
Ishii, we're thinking. And you can find him and all of his amazing music on Facebook at Alan Ishii Music. And that's ALANISHII Music. Trust me, you're going to want to dive in, but you're going to want to be sure the kids are asleep and out of earshot. And if you go to his YouTube, you're going to see some very interesting videos, and his Instagram and his Twitter. So
we will call CPS ourselves. Okay?
He is not for the faint of heart.
No. We will make the call, okay? If we find you looking at them in the presence of children. Otherwise, we both feel very strongly that Alan Ishii is an exciting artist.
Very much so.
Yes, so you will not regret that. Well, lest she hog the entire show, I'm going to wrest one feature away to myself.
Okay, you can.
All right?
All right, fine.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
I'm sorry.
My customary bit, History Strikes Back. And the year, spewed out by the official random number generator, is one very near and dear to me because I remember nothing about it. But I was alive, at least. 1962. And interestingly, I had a direct association with 1962 as soon as it spat this number out, because there is an entire film about that year. In fact, the tagline of a classic 1973 film asked, "Where were you in 62?" Well, that's the year selected, and that was the film American Graffiti, which took place in California in 1962. I mean, we're talking George Lucas, Ron Howard, before he was a legitimate director, a serious director.
Richard Wolfman Jack.
Dreyfuss, yeah, Cindy Williams. So we got Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley represented there. Mackenzie
just watched it.
Yep, breakout role by Mackenzie Phillips, and of course, hovering over the proceedings always in the lives of the young characters, Wolfman Jack.
Harrison Ford, too.
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Early appearance of Harrison Ford, yeah. Bob Falfa. That's a cross between Piss Yellow and Puke Green. I haven't seen that movie in decades, but how in the world?
God, so good.
Jesus, what a waste of machinery. I mean, I remember so many lines. It's that quotable a film because I grew up in a movie theater and I watched it 100 times. Wolfman Jack would also go on to host the phenomenal Midnight Special show at times in the 70s. So if you remember the flick, let's look into what was going on in the world way back when. And as usual, the Sorry, the ostensible purpose of this feature, according to Christina's design and, the best laid plans and all, was to travel back in time to a particular year to review bands, music, charts, and pop culture for a randomly selected year. And there are time things here we're not going to talk about. But there were some things going on. So where were you in 62? The characters in this classic film, which you really should see if you haven't, were living at the time that will be described here. So let's see what was going on. Now, me personally, I was 3 months old when the year started, so I have no personal recollection of that, but I can barely remember what happened yesterday. So advanced is my senility that it's all the same to me. So if you say it was like this, I will believe you. I will believe,
Me
big
too.
brother. Well, here's something. Western Samoa becomes independent from New Zealand, and I'm thinking wait a minute. Well, first of all right, guys. Not going to let those hobbits run the show anymore? Well, good for you. Damn it. I think that's good.
Oh, my God. What the fuck?
The hobbits live in New Zealand. Everybody knows it.
So true.
This is something else. New York City introduces a subway train that operates without a crew on board.
Hell yeah.
Right? The crew, I never thought about there being a crew, except for you see them in the movies all the time.
You
They're
do,
there
zooming past.
looking bewildered as the good guy or the bad guy or both passes by him. And, of course, they're the comic relief, but a few of the less fortunate ones get shot or something.
That's some 2030 shit right there.
But I'm from New York, and I rode the subway a million times, and I never looked to see anybody, and I don't think I ever saw any actual personnel on the trains, but that's because of 1962.
There you go.
But in the movies, they're there because
They are there.
They're basically human props.
True.
That's true. They are expositions waiting to happen. They're expendable. They're the expendables. Okay.
How did you not see that crime?
All right. A military coup occurs in the Dominican Republic, and every year since then, I believe. So.
Oh, shit.
Now, this is near and dear to me, and probably to all of you. Danny Thomas founded St. Jude's St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Wonderful place. They do great work there.
Absolutely, and his daughter continues his
Marlo,
his
that
fight.
girl.
She's amazing.
And back when I had a business, we were monthly contributors to that. Great cause.
Absolutely.
First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy takes television viewers on a tour of the White House. And I don't think it was that common before that.
It was not.
So that was a big deal, and everybody
really
loved Jackie.
Cool. Everybody loved her. Everybody really loved him.
Everybody loved the president.
Absolutely.
He's an amazing man. This is beyond belief. The first Walmart store at the time had the hyphen between the wall and the mart.
Oh, yeah.
Opens for business in Rogers, Arkansas. Walmart, which virtually owns us all, body and soul.
Seriously. That or Target. It's a toss-up.
Began. Wow.
You
should have nipped it in the bud. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's an addiction.
AT&T's Telstar, the world's first commercial communication satellite, is launched into orbit. Wow.
I remember that whole thing, yeah.
That whole satellite thing was freaking everybody out back then. American artist Andy Warhol premieres his Campbell's Soup Cans exhibit in Los Angeles. You know what? I'll out myself as unhip here, but that really doesn't do it for me.
I don't get it.
I mean, we're not hip, okay?
I'm sorry. I get that he's cool.
Yeah.
I don't get the art.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
get the art
I'm really
either.
sorry. I want to, but I don't.
No. Oh, and this one hits me. The death of Marilyn Monroe. Now, I am a huge fan. I have 14 of her movies.
You weren't.
I was not. Most of my life, I was oblivious to her.
And I don't get it. She's fantastic.
Well,
she's not just pretty, and she's not just funny. She's multi-layered.
That's the thing. All I ever saw about Marilyn Monroe was, she's so pretty, and frankly, she is, but at a glance, she doesn't really do much for me. As you watch, you get to like her more and everything, but she's not like, I just drop dead when I see her. No, she isn't. Sorry. I can think of 1,000 women that hit me harder. But, so I ignored her. All you ever heard was shit talk. And finally, a friend of mine recorded a song of mine and said, I'm going to sing it like Marilyn Monroe. And it's like, I never really thought about that.
Happy birthday.
Well, I hate that delivery.
To you.
But she can really sing. And she has over 300,000. Did I mention this on the other show? She has over 300,000 followers on Spotify to this day as a singer. So good for her. Anyway, I'm a huge fan, and that was the year that she passed away after making her last movie with Clark Gable in his last movie, and the great Eli Wallach, called The Misfits, directed by John Huston. Fine film. What the hell am I talking about? Anyway, because we talk about films here. Johnny Carson takes over as permanent host of TV's The Tonight Show and held the post for 30 years. So that was basically my entire life.
I mean, seriously.
There was never a time in the first 30 years of my life when I didn't know Johnny Carson as host of The Tonight Show. The end of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Hey, Nikita
There you
Khrushchev
go.
announced he had ordered the removal of Soviet missile bases in Cuba. President John F. Kennedy, okay, we were already talking. Well played, sir. That was a good one.
Absolutely.
That was a good one. All right, now, during this, all of this stuff, now, we weren't really into the social upheaval and all that unrest and shit in the 60s. We weren't into that yet. This was still left over from the rock and roll era, the baby boom, the happy days. This is the happy days period still, barely. So what were people watching in the movies? Among the top films of 1962, at least in terms of filthy lucre, were Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, yes, a very big one.
Yeah, The Music Man. I love that one.
Oh,
I have it on VHS, actually.
love it.
Mutiny on the Bounty.
Oh,
Fantastic. Classic. Bogey, man. That was
seriously.
Captain Queeg. It's just too good. Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong movie. That's the Kane Mutiny. I do that shit all the time. Mutiny on the Bounty is...
I was like, I thought it was Mutiny on the Bounty. I thought it was...
No,
but
Kane
I was
Mutiny was Captain Queeg. Forget that.
Got it.
Anyway, watch them both. Okay. To Kill a Mockingbird. Nice.
Ooh,
Gregory Peck. Robert Duvall spooking around as Boo Radley. Gotta love it.
gotta love it.
And nothing much else. Okay, but in terms of cultural significance, though, the other ones, I actually don't know much about the other ones. In terms of cultural significance, the Three Stooges meet Hercules. Hello? I mean,
I'm good.
that was an evolution, a step in the evolution of art. And the true distillation of all fine art, Dr. No. The first James Bond film was released with Sean Connery. We were talking about cigarettes before, and the first time we see his face at all on screen, he is saying, Bond, James Bond, with a cigarette dangling in his lip. Not the best delivery in the entire series, but it's pretty fucking cool, and it's a good film. Great film to start the series with. That all began in 1962, and still here, 59 years later. The Miracle Worker, Helen Keller movie, fantastic. Anne Bancroft and Patty Duke.
Brilliant.
They both won Oscars.
They should have.
No snub here.
No
We were
snubbing.
talking about snubs on Winging It, but
No snubs.
Birdman of Alcatraz. I saw it, but it was ages ago.
Didn't see it.
Kid Galahad, more Elvis's fighter, and all this stuff. What about the old Telly? There were manufacturers who were still making color TVs for the first time in 1962.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bozo the Clown. I'm sort of his spiritual offspring. Mr. Ed Wilbur.
The famous Mr. Ed.
The Talking Horse, Mr. Ed. American Bandstand, of course. Perry Mason, Dick Van Dyke, The Andy Griffith Show.
Dick
Lawrence
Van Dyke.
Welk, hell yes. Recognized Bitches, this is my favorite. Twilight Zone, this is interesting. I was surprised to see this. The Jetsons, right, on ABC. This was the first program to air in color on the network.
The
What?
Jetsons?
The Jetsons. It's like, here you are. Hey, we're this big national network. We're going to broadcast color for the first time. Let's go with the
Cartoons.
Jetsons. Let's go with the cartoon. They did, I swear. Unless Wikipedia is wrong, which,
never's wrong.
That would
It's
never
never
happen.
wrong, yeah.
I mean, anybody, the credentials, the background checks they go through for people who edit Wikipedia are rigid.
Which is
let me
pretty
tell
much
you.
anybody.
They're stringent. Yeah.
I actually put that factoid in, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think there's little point in questioning that. Big Brother's personally put signs off on that.
Of course.
Both Bob Dylan and the Beatles released their first recordings. Excuse me? Now,
What?
one could argue that was kind of significant, if one were of a disposition to argue.
And also, if you were trying to be a collector, both of those very fucking collectible, clearly.
Nicely played. That's right. We just finished talking about that. Some of us have memories long enough to have retained that. But having been jogged, I seem to remember that that's what we talked about. Now, the Grammys. We were talking about them being conducted just tonight.
Yes.
Well, okay, what about 1962? Were they lavishing praise upon songs about wet-ass pussies and things like that? Not
Probably
exactly.
not.
Record of the year, Henry Mancini for Moon River. Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
We're talking, this is edgy.
Classic shit.
Album of the year, Judy Garland at Carnegie Hall. Noise.
All right.
Now, here's one you remember. Or maybe you don't remember. Best Country Western Recording, which ordinarily wouldn't faze me at all, but this was back in the 60s. It was okay. Jimmy Dean for Big Bad John. You remember that one?
No idea.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Dean. Now, this is Jimmy Dean, the sausage guy.
I was going to say, he's got a great voice from the commercials.
He does, yeah. He's the singer, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Big Bad John. Yeah, you got to hear this one.
No clue.
And he had a rather significant role in a James Bond movie, believe it or not.
Yeah. He provided the sausage.
He was the reclusive billionaire based on Howard Hughes. That's
provided
right.
the sausage.
And they were rocking the sausage in that tower of his in Las Vegas.
Sure.
Best Rhythm and Blues Performance. Ray Charles, Hit the Road Jack.
Oh, come on.
Oh, woman,
Fucking
oh, woman,
classic.
don't you treat me so mean.
Oh, my God.
You know, I
Hit
find
the
my-
road, Jack.
I find myself singing that on Sunday nights for some reason. Weird, huh?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, a woman treating me mean on Sunday nights? What's the connection there? Anyway, all right, Chubby Checker, let's twist again. See, the whole 50s rock and roll thing was still kind of hanging on.
You know what you're twisting right now?
Your knickers?
Yeah.
I'm twisting your knickers.
Yeah, you
Is
bet.
that what I'm doing?
You better calm your shit down.
Crikey.
Nick is totally twisted.
Now, you know what's interesting about this particular, when we get to the music, well, we already did, these are the songs that we're most likely to remember. There aren't that many and be able to sing. I mean, as far as the Grammys, the Robert Shaw Orchestra and Chorale won a Grammy for Bach B minor and Mass.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass.
It's not much of an egg shaker,
Not so much.
and my Latin is nothing to write home about. So we're going to
Same.
pass on the
Same.
Grammy or not, you know.
Same.
But
We
for-
recognize
so,
the coolness, and that's fine.
You know, why don't we stick with music for peasants like ourselves who are at that level? Beach Boys, Surfing Safari. You don't want to sing it? Probably not, right? Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on a safari with me. Come on a safari with me.
Early in the morning.
Right on, right?
Yeah.
And remember, this is the early 60s, so hippy-dippyism was on the ascendancy, right? We had two absolute folk classics. Peter, Paul, and Mary. If I had a hammer... Oh, you were spared that one? Oh, wow, cool. Good for you.
I got the Puff the Magic Dragon thing. At
Well,
some
the
point,
Kingston
yeah.
Trio did Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Boy, you were really spared the
Yeah,
hippie
I guess.
trip.
Who
Okay,
knew?
That's fine, babe.
Who
Okay.
knew?
And a karaoke classic of somebody's, Elvis Presley. Wise men say only fools rush in. When I did it at karaoke, it sounded okay. I don't know what that sounded like. But hopefully, Dumplin' here saved it. Now, one thing we're definitely not going to try to sing is the Four Seasons Sherry. You know the one. No?
Sherry, baby. Cut that.
The Killer, Sam Cooke. Having a Party and Twisting the Night Away. These
Twisting the
are
night
Night
away.
And
Yeah, that's
we're
all I know.
having a party. That was covered later on by, Southside Johnny or some shit. Somebody good. Somebody okay. All right, and two songs about me. Chubby Checker, The Twist, yes, and Let's Twist Again. So, no, I mean, if something works, you stick with it. And two songs that are definitely about me. The Duke of Earl. Duke of Earl. Duke of Earl. Duke of Earl. And, of course, Dion, the Wanderer. They call me the Wanderer. Yeah, the Wanderer. I wanna round. Right on.
Something
okay.
like that.
That was 1962. And two songs that would never get any airplay in 2021. Trust me on this one. You just look around. Ahab the Arab
No.
by the great Ray Stevens.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and especially not this one. Wait for it. Speedy Gonzales.
Yeah.
Yes, this is indeed a song about the famous fastest mouse in Mexico of Looney Tunes fame, and there's actually voice samples of Mel Blanc, the genius behind most of the characters. Bugs Bunny, everybody knows who Mel Blanc is.
Oh, yeah.
Doing Speedy Gonzales' voice in this tune, and wait till you hear... Well, first let's hear the clip. Here it-
Speedy Gonzales, why don't you come home? Speedy Gonzales, how come you leave me all alone?
That was Pat Boone. Had a not top 100, not top 10, number 6 song in 1962 with Speedy Gonzales. And see, he was edgy prophetically. He didn't even know that was going to be a thing in the future, that anybody would to have a problem with that. He knew he was being badass in
0%.
1997 when he released In a Metal Mood and promoted it shirtless with a leather vest and a choker. Yeah,
It's kind of gross, actually.
because
it's kind of gross.
It's edgy, and that's the way Pat
No,
rolls.
it's gross.
And
to
that's
be
the
honest.
way.
To be honest.
And
it's
that's the way
nasty.
things were in 1962 on History Strikes Back.
All right, that takes us to our next song, and it is by The Dark. And the name of the song is aptly titled Dirty Girl. They also are from Los Angeles, and they are funeral rock. Now, if you don't know what that is, you're about to find out. So during the song, he talks about his super nasty, dirty girl. He wants to taste everything that she gives and instructs her to taste him. He describes her red tights, lips as black as night, and high heels with spikes. She knows just what she likes, and she never has to apologize. If you listen closely, you can hear her desperately trying to catch her breath, and by the end of the song, you'll be trying to catch yours too. So that was The Dark with Dirty Girl. That is Funeral Rock. Now you know what that means. You can find them on Bandcamp at The Dark Official. Now subscribe to The Dark's YouTube page where you will see their visually striking and stirring videos.
Wow, nice. All right, and that brings us to Sparrow Me. For this feature, we discuss songs we wish we'd never heard. And I don't believe you've done these, but I haven't done these before.
Yeah, that's why I was like, please do one. I want to know what you don't like. I know some.
Let's see. Let me see if I got this straight. You're hoping that a guy who's going to be 60 very, very soon has something to gripe about that he doesn't like.
Yes.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Don't we all, though?
He's going to, rant about something and shake his fist about something those kids do. Yeah, that's going to happen. Okay, and here's this week's or my first episode of Sparrow Me. Well, there are many songs that are heralded by people in general as super bad, incredibly irritating, vexatious, and otherwise noisome audio pestilences, such as Achy Breaky Heart, your pick.
Which you like.
Baby Shark, Cherry Pie, another fave of yours, which Janie Lane absolutely hates, and some that I actually like, such as We Built This City, or Wake Me Up Before You Go.
I like
what
that song.
What kind of mutations?
It's not their best song.
It isn't,
but
I
it's
mean,
fun.
Anybody who's dark-hearted enough not to like that song really belongs on an FBI watch list, in my opinion.
They might be on one.
They could be. Wake Me Up Before You Go. I just heard it the other day. I was like, hell yeah. Hanson's Bop, sorry. Don't get the hate for that. I love it.
Don't get it.
Spice Girls Wannabe. I mean, what is wrong with a person who doesn't love that song? But the winner of my personal race to the bottom has to be My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. Oh, yeah. This abomination appears on their album Monkey Business. And I feel very strongly that they owe monkeys collectively a huge apology because no primates could ever craft such an inane and grating piece of shit. Okay. This is a group.
I really wish that you would just say what you think.
You were wondering if I had something like this pent up? Seriously? You're going to stick a microphone in my face and say, just rant about something you don't like, I mean, this is my birthday and Christmas rolled into one here. Yeah. Now, and this is a group that's capable of producing fairly decent tunes, and Fergie can actually kind of sing, but none of that is even hinted at here. First off, if your starting point is referring to the feminine contours of a woman's body as humps, lumps, and bumps, the battle is already lost as far as I'm concerned. About getting you love drunk with the junk in her trunk, which, to hear her tell it, prompts the boys to treat her nicely and give her ices. And I don't mean the kind from 7-Eleven. I'm talking Tiffany and Cartier kind of ices. Well, then break out your umbrella because the shit is going to really keep raining down, we feel certain. In the twisted nightmare world of the Black Eyed Peas, or at least the song, it's perfectly appropriate to ask a woman what she's going to do with all that breasts inside her shirt, okay? It's in the lyric. And she doesn't say, what the fuck kind of question is that, But, lest you think this overachieving female telling this tale is leading our daughters astray, rest assured, she doesn't put out to receive all these goodies. In fact, she assures men that if they touch her, there will be drama. And you don't want no drama. Okay. She just wants the next generation of females sporting the appropriate humps, lumps, and bumps to expect, by dint of the mere possession alone of these, by that fact alone, to be lavished with expensive gifts. So basically there's no problem. And there's the Milky Cocoa Puffs part. It's just there's a lot of stuff that really doesn't warrant discussion. This song is bedazzlingly stupid, militantly obnoxious, and profoundly unmusical. So, naturally, it won a Grammy. And it was a top 10 hit in 15 countries. 15 countries. There are 15 countries where people are so depraved and debased in an artistic sense in terms of appreciating art that they would actually buy this shit. Okay. And first of all, men, please, on behalf of our entire sex, I urge you not to be the kind of moron described in this song. Giving out ices because you like her humps. Seriously. And recording artists everywhere. On behalf of music itself, I urge you not to compose reprehensible drivel like this, okay? Have some respect for yourself. Stand on the street corner and beg. If anyone does look down on you, explain that you've chosen this as a more dignified alternative to foisting another brain-eroding crap fest like my humps on an unsuspecting world. Okay, you will immediately become a king in the eyes of any person of culture you encounter, okay? Now, I don't remember which dark year it was that this brutally awful song plagued us, but I do remember looking up to heaven saying, "Where is thy terrible swift sword?" Well, that's one song. I just laugh when she laughs, even though when she laughs at something that isn't funny, what I say, which is all the time, you know. Where is that terrible swift sword? I mean, come on.
It was the looking to the sky moment that really drove it home for me. With your hands raised as if it was really happening right now. You were asking the age-old question.
I mean, where is that? You're going to abide this. It's like, come on, there are 9 films in the Saw franchise. What's it going to take for you to get that sword out and put an end to this?
Not films in this.
I mean,
I just can't even.
What's it going to take?
I'm dying right now.
Well, anyway, while Pumpkin is dying here, that's one song I definitely wish I had been sparrowed. And since this is a successful group, I'm sure the Peas don't mind if some obscure curmudgeon gives them a black eye.
No.
All right. Now you're going to sit there and tell me with a straight face. Actually, your face isn't very straight right now. That I got to do a song. Well, good, because I'm not letting you steal the show from me anymore. Okay.
Well, Bernard, are you supposed to say what I think of the song?
Oh, of course. I'm sorry.
Because you.
Oh, yes.
Say.
Right, because you probably love it. Oops.
What the fuck? What the fuck does... Would you like to step outside for a minute?
After I said all that, perhaps I shouldn't have made that connection. Perhaps after saying what I said, I do really hope nobody ever listening to the show likes that song. It's just me. I'm just an old guy. Don't mind me. Don't just humor me. Okay, so what do you think of My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas?
I think it's a stupid song.
Okay.
It's a stupid song. It does nothing for me. I think it's stupid. The video is stupid. I mean, I think it's kind of benign. I mean, it's better than, Wet Ass Pussy, so I'm fine with it. I mean, in comparison, but I'm not a fan of either. So yeah, unfortunately, I could give or take the Black Eyed Peas 99.9% of the time. It's not that they're untalented. They're just overdone or underdone. I'm not sure. Somebody needs to cook them, bake them something because they are not finished.
Yeah, put some kind of, sugar on them or something.
I'm kind of out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I agree with you. Do I wish I'd never heard it? I'd be okay if I'd never heard it, but there are worse atrocities. But I'd be okay if I never heard it.
Oh, that is... as Hamlet would say, a consummation devoutly to be wished, that I could live in a world where I had never heard the Black Eyed Peas. I would surrender to the thought police today if I thought that could happen to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Basically, your reaction to that is like mine to Margaritaville. It's benign. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I still don't like it. I don't want anything really to do with it.
Well, it was used as a weapon against you.
Yeah.
Unwittingly.
Yeah, true that.
It's when things happen unwittingly. Okay, now, oh no, I've got a song to do. Oh no. Okay. Well, we've told you that Louis Drayton masters every genre in which he works: electronic dance music, punk, and of course rap. Well, this song tonight is a little bit of the latter two, punk and rap, and it goes together so well, and it's just a great rock. It's Louis Drayton. And if someone said, "Here's our theme, Justify My Dove, etc., write a song that is perfectly tailored to it," this would be the song you'd come up with.
True that.
This is about a guy who's out looking for adventure, and he's talking about fantasies. How does "I can dress like a mechanic and you can dress up as a nun" sound?
Ooh.
But the best
Fetish much?
The best is yet to come. At least we hope, or at least the narrator hopes. In that the song is about Gadget Hackwrench. Now I had to look this up. Now Gadget Hackwrench is a character.
You said that the best is yet to come, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, exactly. See, I'm establishing the motif here.
It's lovely. Well played.
Yeah, unwittingly. I mean,
well played.
There it is. It's like It's just it follows as naturally as night does the day.
True that.
Gadget Hackwrench is a character on Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, I believe, and a favorite of furries everywhere, which is something I learned about in the last couple of years.
And there's bronies.
There's bronies. And apparently, Gadget Hackwrench is a cosplay favorite. So that means there's an abundance and a ready availability of Gadget Hackwrench costumes out there, which is really perfect for the narrator of the song because he's hoping, with any luck, he'll get a Gadget Hackwrench suck. Yes, that's actually where the song goes.
Ooh.
And, you want to be sure those kids are not around, although they won't be able to pick up the shrewd lyrical prestidigitation of Louis Drayton on this one, but if you catch it, well, it's pretty racy. And we were talking before about how the artist cannot be assumed to be as deviant as the narrator of the song. After all, it could just be a story. Well,
True.
that's definitely the case here with Louis Drayton and Gadget Hackwrench suck. In fact,
we got that
glad
squared
we got
away.
that squared away, okay? I mean, I don't know anything about his proclivities in the furry area, but this song is definitely not about him. So I'm assuming no. In fact, he himself says of the piece, the song's about escapism as an ultimate dead end, and it was inspired by a man and his Gadget Hackwrench sex comics. So this is the man in question here is supposed to be narrating this song as about the things that we have talked about, and listen closely, and there's just no telling what you're going to hear in this delightful tale of a night out on the town.
I hope you come with us on this journey.
Hope you come with us on this journey. And we know, one thing we know, since this is Louis Drayton, that the song does not Gadget Hackwrench suck. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Here it comes.
Straight to my rage to make these dreams. I know it's not too late. I wanna hit the face with fetish kicks and screw my fate, just like they say. Cause on a night the moon's so bright, I'm feeling so fine. Walking out the door, I'm going out to get what's mine. I'm ripping off the water jacket off for all I see. I couldn't see. Oh, standing by the traffic lights, I see a girl alive. Got a purple jumpsuit, bloody spanner, looking for a light. She's detailing up to cool, you think I got that right? So sweet. Sick potential kicks, I know it's not complex. When a pretty pussy stuff is tripping sex. So much I feel no mortal terror of a furry ex. Say yay, oh, and if I die for pearls and getting stuck, I keep up ending like a dapping duck. I tip in bells and then with any luck, I got you Hackwrench sock. Glitter lips and demon feelings running through my brain. Red lips and this voice is gently whisper turn again. The pseudo real ideal, I know it's not the same. It does say
Well, after that song, I have to come again and introduce
again.
and again and tell you that you can find Louis Drayton and all of his over on Bandcamp, and just check out Louis Drayton on Facebook. Now, there's two of them, him personally and his musician artist page. You can probably get all the links to all of his body of work at any of them. And, of course, hear his wonderful shows on Fusion Music Radio. And I mentioned only in passing that I'm on about 40 or so of them, but with him, which is a great honor. So, yeah, that was the perfect song for this show. So, Puddin', Kitten, what comes next?
Well, it is, as you normally put it, America's favorite game show, Various Songbirds Battle Royale. And for this feature, we name lines from songs and try to stump each other in a head-to-head battle. So this is the part of the show that is fun and agonizing all at the same time. Now, I've been losing miserably at this game. Apparently, either I don't know shit about songs, or David deliberately picks songs I don't know shit about.
It isn't that.
So it's the latter.
It's the first thing.
It's the latter.
It's the first
It's the latter. So, David, you are slated to go first, and I am fearful and excited all at the same time.
Oh, I get to do you a song. Okay, very good then. Here's one that, if sung, there is zero question you would know. It's a question of, I'm not going to sing it. I'll try not to even phrase it in the rhythmic way of the artist. I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, L.A., and I'm willing to give you more lines if you need them, without admitting defeat. Because you always skimp and give like 2 lines. Scraps.
One more time.
Okay.
Will you say one more time?
I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, L.A., Northern California, where the girls are warm.
This is like the California Girls by Van Halen?
No, that would be the Beach Boys' California Girls.
Oh,
no, that was Dave.
Dave
Solo.
Lee Roth
Dave
is
Solo.
what I was thinking, but
Nope. I think we did California Girls already.
I thought we
we did. Yeah.
I know this
French
song.
Bikini, yeah, I think we did. Or Northern Girls, yeah, we did that. Oh, because of the mention of the Northern California, yeah.
Fuck, I swear I keep thinking it's California Girls. I know it's not. Because you told me I know this song.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking know this song.
Everybody knows this song, I think.
I know those lines. I've sung those lines.
Of course you have. Except for some of the young things and tender in the audience, everybody knows this song.
Can I get another hint? Something different. I'm admitting defeat.
Oh, admitting defeat. Okay, another hint.
You like that part? That's your favorite
no,
part?
it just makes it easier because I fed you so many lines. You know.
Oh my god!
I did. I'm sorry. Okay, it's hard to give a hint on this one. It really is, unless you want initials or something. Which, of course, there won't be a band with those initials.
There, none exist. It's like Basket Case. Fucking pissed me off. I knew the whole song.
I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, L.A., Northern California, where the girls are warm. So I could hear my sweet baby say, okay, now you got the whole verse.
Right, it's like right there.
It's always right there. That's the agony of Various Songbirds.
And then the pain.
That's why it's so much fun.
The painful part is, how long do I keep this going on, or I should just admit? I already admitted defeat, so go ahead, tell me.
I was going to say we're doing a song about fetishes and taboo passions and everything like that, and we obviously love misery and pain because we play this game. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'll sing it. I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, L.A., Northern California, where the girls are warm, so I could hear my sweet baby say,
Keep on
rocking me, baby. That's right.
Rock me.
Rocking me by whom? Oh. I thought that would come easier. Interesting.
No,
Very interesting.
I don't know that I know who this is by.
Wow. You will when you hear it, of course. You'll be like, oh, yeah, of course.
Fuck. Who is it by?
Well, he had another hit. He
lost.
had another hit in the same year or so, Jet Airliner.
Oh, fuck. This game sucks sometimes.
It does. Why do we play it? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Because it's so good.
Because it's so good. It hurts so good, basically. That's this. When you talk about hurts so good, that's this game.
Just tell me I can't handle it.
Steve Miller Band.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? Jet Airliner, Jungle Love. Yeah.
God, I know
and one
this song. I knew all of that.
And one I picked apart on this very show, Take the Money and Run.
Fuck me. Yeah. Oh, that's so brutal.
Steve Miller Band. I'm sorry. I'm sure it'll be just as brutal for me, so lay it on there.
No, because I've done the silver platter above my head
thing you don't
again.
have to do that.
I always do that.
You can wield a truncheon.
No, I don't do that because I care. We've established
I care
this.
too. I want you to get them. It's just you usually don't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I usually don't. I mean, sometimes you don't. I mean, I want you to get them. I do. I give you so many lines.
I want you to get them, except you usually don't.
Yeah, I misspoke. Usually is the wrong word. I meant occasionally, not usually. You know how you say sometimes. Usually, when you mean occasionally, it happens all the time.
Nobody does that.
Nobody does that.
Nobody does that.
Okay, lay it on me. Pay me back. Okay.
I'm not paying you back.
I know.
I'm being sweet.
I know. You're offering an olive branch.
And
this is a musical
and
olive
if I
branch.
ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land.
Oh, thank you for that amazing gift right there. That is The Wind by Cat Stevens. Yes, thank you so much for that.
It's not.
Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Moonshadow. Yeah. Yeah. Does that count?
Of course it does.
Yeah, Moonshadow, okay. If I sang it all, I would have got I'm being followed by it. Yep. All right, I'm sorry. I swear, I hope this one is easier for you. Let me see. Okay.
I just want everybody to note that every time we play this game, I give him people I know he knows for sure and would be able to figure it out. And he gives me stuff he thinks I might know.
You did know it, though. It's a ubiquitous radio hit.
Whatever.
For 40 years.
Whatever. You didn't get Kiss, so, you know.
I didn't get Kiss. I didn't get Blue Oyster Cult.
I'm just saying.
And I didn't get, who was the other? Blondie. Yeah, Blondie. Right? All right. I'm your dream, make you real. I'm your eyes when you must steal. I'm your pain when you can't feel.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I got to sing it? I'm your dream, make you real. I'm your eyes when you must steal. I'm your pain when you can't feel. Sad but true.
No, nothing.
Oh, sorry, Sad but True by Metallica. I
knew it was Metallica, but I didn't know the song. I don't know the lyrics.
Sorry. I thought it was like one of those Metallica songs that everybody knows, like the few that are the most well-known ones. Sorry, I meant well, I really did. Gee, that really doesn't bode well for the other one I was going to do because that's even more obscure. But I mean, it's a big hit. Stump me. It was a big hit. That's why I thought you might know it.
You thought I might, but I give you ones I know you know.
All right.
Where's the love?
I'm a cat. I get it.
Sidewalk crouches at her feet like a dog that begs for something sweet.
Oh, yeah. Do you hope to make her? Yeah. Hello, I Love You by The Doors. I'm sorry. No, you're giving me such easy ones. It's terrible. Oh, I feel bad. And that's the whole point of playing various songbirds, I think. Okay. Oh, gee, that one I should not do because you're never going to get that one. Okay.
Like you care.
Let's try this one. In fact, I'm going to go to a softball, babe. Okay. My love is the evening breeze touching your skin, the gentle, sweet singing of leaves in the wind.
I don't know those lines.
The whisper that calls after you in the night and kisses your ear in the early moonlight or light or whatever. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I got nothing.
Oh, God, sorry. I feel lower than whale shit.
I have no idea what that song is.
It's heart crazy on you.
I just don't know all those lyrics. I know lyrics to songs that are probably not in the 70s, but we'll keep trying. Well, here's another, sweet offering. What I feel has come and gone before. No need to talk it out. We know what it's all about.
Oh, it's the Carpenters' Rainy Days and Mondays. I've got to find this type of song. I really try to find this type of song that it's just like, see, you'll get this and it'll be more fun. But,
it's fine.
Okay.
It's fun for them because because the agony is real. I mean, those two I didn't have.
I usually have agony too. It just seems it's just an agony-free night for me. That's all.
Well, because I pick songs I thought you'd know.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was trying to.
That's all right.
Oh, and I got to do one more for you, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's such a weird one, but if you think about the weirdness, ought to drive you to it.
Okay.
Semolina Pilchard climbing up the Eiffel Tower. Elementary penguins singing Hare Krishna. Man, you should have seen them kicking Edgar Allan Poe.
Fucking idea what that is either.
Damn! This is terrible. All right.
No idea.
Semolina Pilchard climbing up the Eiffel Tower. Elementary penguins singing Hare Krishna, man, you should have seen them kicking Edgar Allan Poe. Ba 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 ba. Oh, the pain. Ba 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 ba.
Yeah, but there's no way I'm gonna. You've just sang me the whole song, so it's fine.
But you know what it is.
Sounds like the Beatles to me.
Yeah, it's the Beatles. I just picture these things have been drilled in, even though you're a young thing and tender, that these songs had still been drilled into your head. That was the Beatles, I'm the Walrus. Oh,
I mean, it's a great song.
I
just don't know all the lyrics. It's my bad.
I'm positively aggrieved because they're so bizarre. They're so bizarre, and there are certain ones like kicking Edgar Allan Poe. How the fuck many times does Edgar Allan Poe come up in a song except for my own Poe's Raven Rap? I mean, it's just not something you hear.
You're right. No, and I just, the thing is I know those songs at a high level. I just don't know every lyric. I mean,
see, I'm that way too. When I hear a song for the first time or two, the lyrics don't stick. I'm taking in everything, and that's apparently the way it is with a lot of older songs for you. Oh goodness!
Well, I'm not a huge fan of that song either, so I don't think I go to it to listen to it. If it comes on, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of out. It's all right.
It's an achievement, I think.
It's all right. All right.
Well,
so you have one
sorry.
more. You have one more. If you want it.
Now
that you haven't kicked my ass already.
Oh, if you got one, okay. Hopefully I'll miss it and be ashamed.
You won't miss it.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're being so good,
You talk about things that nobody cares. You're wearing out things that nobody wears.
Oh, wow. Aerosmith, Sweet Emotion.
Okay, so you kicked my ass again.
I didn't last time, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, what about the time before that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I stopped keeping track because I had my ass kicked a lot in this game. I'm fine with it.
You've wiped me out on a number of shows.
But anyway, so you kicked my ass. You got all 4 of those.
Well, if it's any consolation, you get to introduce a good song.
That's something. I'll take it. So that was Various Songbirds Battle Royale. And I guess for me, it's just the battle denial, because apparently I had known no songs, no lines from songs. I don't even like music. Who knew? So the next artist is new to us, and it is called Project Revise. And the song is Tie Me Down. They're from the UK, and they are punk. Now, I will tell you, this is actually the alternate version. We give you 2 versions to choose from, Justify My Dove. Either it's the sexual taboo version, or it is the, you persuaded people to your point of view, and this is the latter. So this infectious track is punk at its best. It includes everything I love about this genre. The band is comprised of tight and talented musicians. It is cohesive, interesting, fun, and rowdy. This is a song where he clearly persuades a love interest in this song to hold on tightly but never tie me down. The lyrics are steeped in the best interest and love for another person. After several listens, I'm persuaded to their point of view, that is, and I'm inspired to dive deeper into their catalog. Tie Me Down.
Wasting time.
All right, that was Project Revise, and you can find them on Facebook at Project Revise.
All right, and that brings us to Wouldn't It Be Tweet? Wouldn't what be tweet? Well, for this feature, we create our own supergroups and explain why it would be tweet. If we can muster the words, and just think about that. Imaginary, fictional, no rules. Death is not an impediment to assembling your supergroup. It's kind of like fantasy football, only interesting.
And cool.
Yeah, and cool. If fantasy football were interesting, then they would
not
be kind of
completely
like
lame
that.
and
Not
pointless.
completely lame and pointless. Well, we've put together some interesting groups, and of course these types of groups have appeared or attempted to appear in real life. But this one certainly never even came close. I'm going to start with the ground up and put Mr. Carl Palmer on drums.
Ooh.
Now, this guy, it doesn't matter the fact that he's still a major beast on drums, but of course, you can pick them with all their skills and all their talents,
That's
throughout
right.
all their years. This guy can do anything. He can play, raw, nasty blues and a lot of really highbrow, progressive, classical stuff with outright classical covers as well as a heavy classical influence. And that's kind of a theme that's going to run through this band, or this imaginary band of mine a little bit. So Carl Palmer on drums, and on the bass, not the first guy you think of when you think of progressive or classical or anything like that, but perhaps that's not fair. John Entwistle on bass and, of course, horns also, and vocals. He sings, and
Of course.
when when you see the Who live, unless they got a big group with them, you might have synthesized horns, but in the studio, that's all Entwistle playing the horns.
Nice.
And he's the Who could make noise that was absolute chaos. What Roger Daltrey described as 4 horrible geezers making the worst noise you ever heard in your life. But they can also be incredibly progressive. They can sound like Pink Floyd, and they can sound like just, absolute a sonic assault. An atomic bomb. And there's a lot of poetry and a lot of expressiveness, even though people think of Entwistle and Keith Moon as just constantly playing over each other. Entwistle and Moon don't really play together, it seems to me, but it'd be interesting to see how such an amazing precision player would work with a machine like Carl Palmer. So that would be the rhythm section, and of course some horns in the studio and stuff.
Well, sure.
Now on guitar, another gentleman with very definite leanings in that area, Richie Blackmore on guitar.
Wow.
Now here's a guy who not only did Deep Purple do concerts with orchestras, they did classical covers and everything, but he's also, since 1999, been in a band called Blackmore's Night with his wife, Candace Knight. And they are all about, put it this way, they appear at Renaissance fairs. That's what they're like. They're all about
wow.
Celtic, folky, acoustic, what's the word I'm looking for? Medieval. They get medieval on your ass. That's right. Blackmore's Night. So he's definitely got those leanings as well as from Deep Purple. So he would be a hell of a guitar player to throw in with the likes of Palmer and Entwistle finally having to work with a drummer. And so, what about keyboards? Now, this is going to surprise some people. I'm going with Nicky Hopkins, who was really not a recording artist in his own right, never had a band, and never released a record under his name that I know of. He's a session player, but he's a session player who's known to play with the Beatles and the Who and the Kinks, and especially the Rolling Stones. And the reason I put him in this group is because he has definite classical leanings. If you think of the piano parts he contributed to Angie, for example, Nicky Hopkins, and She's a Rainbow. That delicious Baroque trill fest called She's a Rainbow. That's I think Nicky Hopkins could bring some really amazing stuff to this group. By the way, She's a Rainbow. Did I mention that in the opening montage? I believe
Maybe.
I did. From the criminally underappreciated Their Satanic Majesty's Request album. That particular track, a little trivia, besides the piano by Nicky Hopkins, because he did that a lot, was produced, and the string arrangement was made by Mr. John Paul Jones a couple of years before Led Zeppelin got together. So that was one of
Very
Jonesy's.
interesting. Wow.
So Nicky Hopkins, but what about it? Are we going to have a singer in this thing?
I imagine
think
so.
I'm going to go with Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull.
Wow.
Because, again, he can do the Celtic, folky, Baroque thing and the progressive rock and all that shit so well.
Yeah, he can.
And vocals and flute, of course, and he's one hell of an acoustic guitar player. So, yeah, that would be interesting to pool these talents and see what they could come up with. So that's my little imaginary super group.
That's fucking amazing, actually, right there.
Thank you.
I really like that assembly, and I like the direction of the band. I like the prog and the Renaissance, and, I can so hear it. Oh, if only.
Yeah, that would be. We've had some great supergroup, and if, like I said, if they could all, like Ebony and Ivory, if they could all live in perfect harmony and work together and see what they would produce, I think it would be amazing.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
All right, so that would be Wouldn't Tit Be Tweet. All right, next up, fantastic group called Electric Mother from Orkney, Scotland. They're from Scotland.
Oh, you gotta love it.
I love it. And the song, I think we're right on point here. The song Gigolo. Hey.
Hey.
And their genres, they're a stoner, groove, heavy metal kind of a band. I think they're better than that. I think they're selling them so short, maybe,
Agreed.
but those are good things.
Yes.
But this, to me, is has a real Black Oak, Arkansas vibe to it. It's really classic Southern Fried Boogie riffs. And the lead guitar jams just like pan-sear your face, kind of.
They do.
They do, right?
It's true.
It's a catchy little sales pitch, and it's the narrator presenting himself as what he imagines is the lady in question's fantasy lover. Okay. I personally don't want to know if his best-in-town claim is legit in the Studley sense. However, but this smoking track definitely curls my toes. Here is Electric Mother with Gigolo. Electric Mother, Gigolo. Now, Are you ready? You ready to fork it up? Are you ready to fork it over? Because
Oh,
you
I'm
got to
ready.
pay. You got to pay. Okay. And you can find them on Facebook at Electric Mother Band.
All right, and now it is time for Trivial Trills. This is a really fun feature because what I do is I name a musical artist or band and see what, if any, tasty trivia tidbits David can share or muster or both. And this time I've selected a band because I like to throw you softballs, be it various songbirds or whatever, what have you. It's Aerosmith.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, what, sir, do you know about Aerosmith? And of course, I've come up with several tasty tidbits myself in the event that I've stumped you or that you are not able to provide what I feel is an ample number of factoids.
Well, Aerosmith, I might know a thing or two, but not being a gossip person, there are probably things that I don't know, but then others that you can't avoid no matter how hard you try.
It's not all gossip.
No, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah.
Factoid-wise, let me see. Well, of course, this was a band that actually opened my first concert in 1975. They were not the headliners till next year, and I wasn't familiar with their stuff until after that show where they opened for Black Sabbath, and then I became a huge fan immediately. They won me over that night. They were fucking incredible. Opening up with the song Make It, which kicks off the first album, which is unbelievable. That's a way to blast into a show and say, the first line, good evening, people, welcome to the show. So what do I know about Aerosmith? I think they're from Boston, gee, what do I really know about them? Except I know a great deal of their music, like the first 6 albums, very well. Beyond that, maybe not. Well, they got one of the biggest record deals ever, if I remember correctly, as far as advance payments for future works. They have had lineup changes, but the 5 are back together, as I understand now. And what do I know about them? Well, there was a problem with this band involving, rock bands in the 70s. Take a wild guess what the problem was. It might have had something to do with drugs.
Maybe drugs, yeah.
And which Tyler and Perry, who were producing the albums, went by the name the Toxic Twins. And I think they cleaned up. Good for them because they're better now. These old performers, when they're sober,
amazing.
they're so much better. And they are amazing. First 5 albums are so unbeatable, one of the greatest American rock bands ever. But what do I actually know about them? Not a hell of a lot, except for the makeup of the band and the general career trajectory. There's a tell-all biography called Walk This Way that describes some of this stuff, but I didn't read it. And, what do I know about Aerosmith? I mean, they've done some impressive things. One of the first rap crossover things with Run DMC. We talked about that on another episode.
Yeah.
But probably going to be kicking myself with the stuff you bring up. But I just know the music mostly. So.
Well, do you know how they formed?
Not really, no.
Well, this is an interesting little story.
Good, I like
So I'll
those.
start with this one. In the 60s, Steven Tyler formed the band Chain Reaction. Super fucking, unique name, not. Joe Perry, Tom Hamilton, and Joey Kramer were in another band called Jam Band.
That's
in
even worse.
1970, yes. The two bands played the same gig in Boston, so you were right. Tyler and Kramer had known each other before that day, but hearing each other play was the magic moment. The members of both bands decided to merge into one, with Tyler becoming the frontman after having previously been in the drummer
drums. Yes,
of
the drums.
Chain
That's
Reaction.
right. Yeah, he plays the drums. That's right.
So that's an interesting, cool little story.
I forgot about that. I should have known that.
And I will tell you, I mean, there is a magic when you share a bill with different people. You think, oh, we could collab on this. I mean, we've talked about doing it with the Tragic Radicals a million times. I mean, you start to hear stuff in other bands. Bat Farm, we've talked about collabing or whatever, singing backup or something. I mean, you go, oh my God, you guys you're special, you're great, and I love what you do. And
a number of bands have formed that way, of course. Yeah,
absolutely. So that's one of the little tasty tidbits is how they met, And in which videos did Alicia Silverstone appear?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Crazy.
That's one.
Really? Oh, there's more than one? Mm-hmm. Wow.
She was a staple.
Oh, Alicia Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
You mean a legitimate Batman tie right there? Because she was Batgirl?
No, just an Alicia Silverstone tie.
Yeah. Well, we look for Batman ties, and that was a
No, we
legit
don't,
one.
actually. No.
Okay,
You
we
do.
We had Pet Boone. We had Bond. We
Yeah,
had
I don't have any of that. Actually.
So, okay, Batman tie here. Anyway, Alicia Silverstone. I'm going to go with Amazing. Was it Amazing?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
And there's one more.
Yeah. I'll never get this one. Not. Please don't tell me Janie's got a gun. Please.
No.
Okay. What is it?
Crazy.
I said crazy.
You said amazing and crying, I thought.
No. I said crazy, not crying.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I missed
then
crying.
It was crying is
Yeah.
what I said. So in which of one of those three, did his daughter Liv also appear?
Oh, I'm going to go with Amazing.
Crazy.
Crazy. Wow.
They were strippers.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah, that was a little eyebrow raising because why would you have your daughter be a stripper in a video? I'm kind of out, but that's just me. I could be very prudish in that way. But again, then he put her in a video where she's a stripper later.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. The Convair CV-300 plane was almost rented by Aerosmith in 1977. That doesn't seem terribly interesting, except that plane found other customers in Lynyrd Skynyrd.
No!
Yes, this was the plane that killed several members of the band, including Ronnie Van Zant.
Wow.
So we could have lost Aerosmith had they chartered that plane.
Wow. And,
Chartered that plane. Chartering a plane.
It's terrible what happened to Lynyrd Skynyrd. But Ronnie Van Zant, at least, had 3 or 4 brothers who looked and sang just like him, so they could carry on, which Tyler probably didn't. So, it was. I mean, I'm not saying if one of them had to get it or anything like that, but I mean, it's
did sound a little like
a little.
I didn't want to say. I was like, sounds a little like, hey, look, if anyone was going to get it, it's fine. He's easily replaceable by another brother. So no biggie. We got you.
Yeah, it did kind of sound like that.
Bye, Ronnie.
Not what I meant.
We got 3 more over here. No biggie.
Ronnie,
Sorry.
Donnie, Lonnie, they all have.
Oh,
Johnny,
we're going to be canceled. Lynyrd Skynyrd fans are going to come with their pitchforks and just light this shit up.
How many Lynyrd Skynyrd fans are there left? Actually? No.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm saying this just to amuse the audience.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, it's too soon. Yeah.
It will only be too soon for that shit. Oh my God.
I will leave it to you to cut this. So.
I'm not going to do shit. I'll leave it to you. It's your head. It will roll for that.
My judgment is not adequate to deciding whether we should leave that in the show or not. Yeah.
Oh my God. In 2010, Sammy Hagar was considered a possible replacement for Tyler, who was about to join American Idol.
Oh, Lord, really?
And Steven Tyler was an American Idol. He
Yeah,
did the
but
which
Aerosmith
was,
maybe hiatused it or something. But
they did.
Yeah.
They did. Well, they didn't know if he was coming back.
Yeah.
So,
God, imagine leaving a band for that shit. Yeah.
well, I mean, it would be interesting to hear Sammy Hagar sing those songs, to be honest with you. But I'm a Hagar fan, so. They've only had one #1 single. Do you know what that is? One.
I'm going to go. It wasn't that thing from the Meteor movie, was it? No, Armageddon. I'm going to go with. Shit. It's not Janie. No, wait. Oh. Not Love in an Elevator. God help us if it's Love in an Elevator.
Live it up while we're going down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Ragdoll. That would be a good one.
That's a great song.
There are some crap storms out there in the later period. Living on the Edge? No, I don't know. Which is it?
Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Oh, of course. That's the one. And that is the one from Armageddon, I think.
And the song never appeared on any of their studio albums, just on the Armageddon soundtrack.
See, I was on the right track.
And they didn't write it.
No, really? Wow. That sounds like some Desmond Child shit right there. Diane Warren can't be far away.
No, I think it's probably a Warren.
Yeah.
And did you know that they have their own roller coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando called Rock and Roller Coaster?
I had no idea about
I
that
didn't
at
either.
all. No.
And this is very interesting. The video for Janie's Got a Gun was directed by a young David Fincher, who would go on to direct...
I know the name. That's about it.
Zodiac, Fight Club, and Seven.
Oh, really?
Fuck.
Fight Club. Wow.
He's brilliant.
We can't talk about that. You know?
No, I can't believe I even said it.
Yeah.
In 2001, they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now, that's not a big deal because, of course, they were. What makes this unique is that they are the only band to be inducted while one of their songs was active on the charts. the song Jaded was active on the charts.
Oh, because usually bands are like it's
posthumous or decades after.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're out there, but they're not actually.
They're not doing
hits,
anything, right? So that's pretty cool. I mean,
that's quite a distinction.
It
Actually.
really is. Toys in the Attic remains their highest-selling studio album ever.
Yeah.
And the story behind Dude Looks Like a Lady.
It's
you know the story?
No, but it's an unfortunate song. But yeah.
Dude Looks Like a Lady was inspired when Tyler was in a bar and was checking out a beautiful woman sitting with her back to him. Mm-hmm. That beautiful woman turned out to be Vince Neil.
No!
Of Motley Crue.
I was figuring it was some outright drag queen or something like that. Vince Neil. Okay.
Vince fucking Neil.
Well, Motley Crue were kind of asking to be picked up as chicks. You know?
I'm sorry, but Vince Neil was fucking beautiful. Holy shit, he was prettier than most women I've ever seen. Gorgeous. Beautiful hair, great makeup, great body. He was gorgeous. Oh, good Lord. Anyway, that was Trivial Trills and very interesting little tidbits about Aerosmith. No rumors, just facts and interesting information.
Yeah, nobody slept with anybody's wife or beat anybody up. Or
not that I'm aware of.
Ran him over with a car or anything.
Maybe it's in that tell-all.
Any of that usual rock star shit.
Maybe it's in the tell-all book that I did not read.
That could be.
So, again, you're always bitching now about, let me do a segment. So fucking go do it.
About damn time,
God
okay?
Damn, I'm just saying.
It's never me, okay?
It's always you.
Regular listeners are going to be like, isn't this the guy who says...
This is the guy who says it's always me.
All right, and since we've run that theme into the ground, we need a new one, don't we? That one is on E. That one is left at the side of the road. That one, we're calling the tow truck for that one. So
I have AAA.
Let's move on. There you go. Let's move on to bigger and better things with the next theme. Birds of a Feather is... Losing My Crown Pigeon. That's right, based on the song Losing My Religion by R.E.M. from the Out of Time album in 1991. And the songs we're looking for, the submissions we want, again, we're going to leave it pretty broad for you.
It's fourfold.
Fourfold, and this is, according to Cupcake here, this is the how the band describes what the song is about. And if you look at the Urban Dictionary, this is pretty much what... how everybody uses it, especially in the first definition, which dictionaries, they have multiple definitions that have nothing to do with each other. But I won't bore you with how I've misunderstood that phrase all these years, having been brainwashed by movies, which is never a good idea. We'll tell you what REM says the song is about, and this is what we're looking for as far as submissions. Being at the end of your rope, and the moment when the politeness gives way to anger. I'm losing my religion here, and this is the way people use it these days. Unrequited love. Okay, come on. Who doesn't have a song about that? Even you milquetoast rockers out there today, somebody's got a song about that. It's hard to get some really extreme stuff out of you about drugs and sex and everything like that because you're so squeaky clean these days, but hopefully we can find this one at least. The struggle with fame. And I'm very sympathetic to the famous, honestly.
I wanted to say there's a parallel there.
Yeah. Oh, is there?
You and REM and the struggle with fame.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
I know. I saw that right away.
It's difficult for me, But I sympathize with those who are famous, honestly. I think it's got to be a real drag.
Yeah.
And people say, you're so famous. I feel so sorry for you. Yeah, I do feel sorry for you if you're famous. It's a pain in the ass because the public doesn't know how to treat you, how to react to you. Everybody freaks out, and everybody, it's a hassle. So I get that, and also questioning the spiritual beliefs of yourself or others. So we're leaving it wide open for you. Any one of those themes, or maybe a little bit of stretch, but come on, give us something we can work with here. We're willing to work with you. It's just like we're like a lender. We're like a very open-minded lender. We're willing to work with you, and that means that it's having stated that means it's time for you.
It's true. One thing I want to say about the themes is just remember, folks, that we are wide open on genre. It's not that we have, a leaning toward any one thing. Send it to us. This time we have an electronica piece. We've had folk pieces. We've had punk pieces. We've had metal pieces. We are open. Goth, everything. So whatever you got that fits the theme, shoot it over to bofonair@gmail.com. Oh no, David. It's that part of the show.
I will pass you a tissue. I mean, I always need some on hand for the copious nasal secretions. However, you need them for your tears at this point of the show. So go ahead.
This is Parting is Such Sweet Sorrow, and this is a hard segment for me. Except for the fact that I get to give you homework. And this time, just because we just did it on Trivial Trills, we are going to go ahead and say, Aerosmith, are you in? Are you out? What do you think? Are you hell yes, hell no? Are you hell maybe? Are you hell sometimes? Are you hell never? Where are you at? We want to know. We want you to tell us what you think. Of course, as you know, we will be posting that on our Instagram and Birds of a Feather pages on Facebook as well. You can find us on those pages at BOAF On Air. So let us know what you think. Tell us in the comments. Go ahead and love it, like it. We just want to know. Are they dreaming, or you don't want to miss a thing? Where are we at?
Nice.
Where are you at? So I'm going to go ahead and wipe my tears while you take us home.
All right, I guess it's time to wrap this puppy up in a neat little blanket. The next Winging It airs on April 10th. A new Birds of a Feather airs on April 17th. And what platforms can you hear What the Flock Radio's Birds of a Feather? Well, they include Spotify, Amazon Music /Audible. Gotta love that Audible. Deezer, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Player FM, Listen Notes, and soon we should be available on Apple Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Castro, Castbox, and Casting Couch. Okay, that one's
That's not real.
I made that up. All right, and so and don't forget you can subscribe to our show and listen to all 45 previous shows at www.boafonair, that's BOAF on air, Podbean, as in like Mr. Bean, as in, Free Holy, podbean.com, and subscribe to the feed and just listen to us wherever you want or wherever you can. So, I guess that only leaves for you to say...
Let's get the flock out of here.
This has been Birds of a Feather on What the Flock Radio.